What's going on, world? This is Tyson Paul, and welcome to We on the Last with Tyson Paul, the show where we get some of your favorite comedians and we talk about everything comedy. Now, today we got a very special, kind of last minute host, or last minute comic, but you guys are definitely in for a real treat. This guy is literally one of the hottest comics in the world right now, probably because of the pandemic, but he's still, you gotta take the title when you have it. Let's give it up for the very funny, the very charismatic, Mr. Tahir Moore. Tahir, what's going on?
What's up, man? How you doing, bro? That was a very nice intro.
I know, man. I'm trying to give all the comics that show up here like really good intros, because I already know as comics we get the worst intros ever. Like, do you remember the worst intro you ever got?
Put your hands together for dude.
He couldn't even say your name.
He forgot it. I get it. Tahir's it's not a normal name, so just put your hands together for dude. And I was dude.
Oh my god, man! There's been worse. Like, there's people that just been like, come on stage.
Yeah.
like what? No introduction, no nothing.
I've had a little bit of it all. You know what I mean?
Okay, man. Like, so it's great having you on here and stuff. With the shades, you're definitely our biggest comedian to ever do this. So like, congratulations to that. Like, I don't think anybody's really rocked shades the way that you doing it.
Well, listen, I thought I had enough time to run some errands and get something to eat, and I didn't. All right, so I don't know if you guys know me. You see my body type. I'm sad. So these shades are to hide my tears because I'm starving. That's what these shades are for, man. Like, I don't want to see me crying again on camera. It's enough of that shit.
Yeah. No, and your birthday just passed, so we want to say happy birthday.
Thank you.
You got a really good roast. I watched it. It was pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know how long you just gonna let your friends just make fun of you, because it seemed like they do this every day. But for your birthday, they went all out. I was like, I don't know if he want these friends after his roast.
It keeps you humble, bro. It keeps you humble. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people did take notice of me last year just from like just working as hard as I did, and so like that shit could go to somebody's head. But you got friends that'll tell you ain't shit. It keeps you humble, keeps you grounded. So, you got to keep some real ones around you,
Yeah.
And it's entertaining for the people. And if the people going to spend money, fuck it. So I deal with a little name calling. Fuck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I always tell people, like, because people always ask comics, like, oh, do you care if they're laughing at you or if they're laughing with you? And I just be like, does it matter? They laughing. Like,
I mean, it really depends on it definitely depends on the situation. Like, if you're on set, you want them to be laughing with you, the jokes that you say, you don't want them to be laughing at how bad you are, you know what I'm saying? So it depends on the situation. So I had a good time though. I had a great time with that. Great time. So I had no complaints.
Cool. So I like to get started by asking comics, like, what are some of their earliest memories from comedy as a genre? Because like, we all have to start somewhere. We all got like our first dose of comedy from many different levels and stuff. So for you, like, what were some of your earliest memories of comedy in general?
I just remember watching some of the people that I admired on stage, like my big bro Arvin Mitchell. He's actually in Utah. I'm doing his show this upcoming Sunday, Easter weekend, and just somebody that I watched like just really master their presence on stage, man. And then he got free drinks and got a lot of chicks, and I was like, man, I want all that shit. So I like the perks. I love entertaining people. I love making people laugh. And that's really what I wanted, man. Like, just watching some of the greats, so I said early on, Arvin, and it wasn't a whole lot of people that were coming through St. Louis that I got a chance to check out while I was like up and coming. Plus, I was still in college, man. Like, I ain't started taking comedy for real till I got out to LA. I ain't gonna even hold y'all, man. I ain't gonna be like, oh, I'm a purist. I always was hitting the stage. Nigga, I ain't know. I wanted to act, you know what I'm saying? Which is why, like, in college, they used to call me Rob the Entertainer, Rob the Comedian, and I didn't want none of that. Just call me by my name, bro, because I didn't want to get pigeonholed. Back in the days, it was like, came in the game one way, they would try to hold you that way. So I was terrified of just being labeled as a comedian because I knew I wanted to act. So You know, it took me a little minute to really embrace it, and then once I started getting rocking and rolling with it, it wasn't really like I said until I moved out to LA in 2009 that I started taking it seriously, like hitting stages regularly and for
Yeah.
open mic, just working out the material.
Yeah, no, I feel like I feel the same. Like I think a lot of comics like that got started within like the early 2000s and now I feel like most of them really kind of like, okay, this is what I really want to do once they got to college, because I think like
Mhm.
college is so great for just people in general, not even if you like going to school. Like you need to go to college because
Right.
there's so much more you learn that's not in a classroom. You just learn about dealing with people, you learn about how like what you really want to do, what your talents are, what your interests are, and everything like that. And then it's just like college is just like the funnest time of everybody's life. Like
Yeah.
I don't get why you don't want to go
Yeah.
to college. It's a lot of kids now, like the YouTube generation, like that don't want to go to college. It's like I don't need to go to college. Like
Yeah. They
why?
don't. I mean, like, because I mean, for a lot of people who are going into like tech and stuff like that, you can get some on the job training. Well, I mean, you get some school training, some, but a lot of it is on the job training. Like, you really have to do it. So, like, I want my daughter to go to a HBCU, but I'm not going to press it if that's not what she wants to do. But if she wants to go to school, she's going to a HBCU. You know, she's not going into a PWI. If he wants me to pay, she gets scholarships and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Go for it. But if you want me to pay, you going to HBCU. As simple as that. It
Yeah,
ain't no question about it.
yeah,
Um,
nah.
but I think like on the job training right now, like I use my business degree a lot when I'm, before I had my manager and I was making my own deals and creating my own riders and things of that nature. And like when people wanted to partner with me, because I'm in a place now like I understand the game. Like I
hmm
understand what followers are. Like
hmm
it's not about just having this many people following me. It's about this is what I'm bringing to the table. This is what I can provide to your business, or if I'm doing a show, this how many people I expect to come because I already did the stats for this region and all of this. So like when
hmm
people be hitting me up now, they be talking about like, yo, can I send you a shirt? It's like, no. First of all, I ain't got no space in my closet for no more shirts. Second of all, it's like I really don't have no space for no more shirts. Second of all, it's like you don't understand the process of collaboration. A collaboration is a mutually beneficial partnership between two entities, right? So if
hmm
you send me a shirt because you want me to post a shirt so you can get the sales from me posting a shirt, that's not mutually beneficial, right? If you want to create a Bitly so people who purchase a shirt on my posting use my code and I get a percentage of the sales, that's a partnership. But you just saying, can I send you a shirt so I can post and you get all the benefits from my supporters that I built up over the years? No.
hmm
That answer is always going to be no, because people don't lead with the mindset of business. But again, that's what I learned in college, and that's why I do encourage college, because like if you got the foundation and the fundamentals of it, then you will learn a lot along the way, but you need to still have some type of foundation and some type of base on that.
Yeah, yeah. So, 2009, you moved to Los Angeles, and like when you moved in 2009, were you still thinking like I just want to be an actor, or did you really like, all right, when I get out there, I'm gonna actually try and do like stand up and see what works for me?
I was just trying to get out and stop selling dope, man. I was selling so much dope in St. Louis, to older people too. Like I like older patients because or clients because they had residual income, so it had to be 65 and older to buy my dope. So I just wanted to get out of a position where I had to keep doing that because I knew I was big enough. I knew God had more for me.
Uh,
Um, I moved out here in 2009. I started taking it seriously. I started because it was a bigger network of comics. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
And so like when people saw that you were serious about it, they exposed you to different clubs, different bookers, different people you needed to meet, shake hands and stuff like that. So that's really when I hit the ground running, man, for real. I mean, I had been doing comedy in St. Louis up until that point, but like I said, not just not taking it serious, not writing, dedicating my time and effort to writing and going to open mics and getting up and really putting that new content out there. So LA just really like it kind of jump started the career, but it also like it lit a fire under your ass because you move away from the crib, you lose your comfort zone. So it
mm,
really is fight or flight. You know what I'm saying? You either gonna stand your ground and do what you need to do, or you're gonna dip up out of there. So
yeah.
it was just that reality check. Like if you're gonna do this, you got to do it. You know.
And what like I know like basically moving to LA and then like jumping into the comedy scene, like that's everybody's like kind of dream. where everybody is, or like where, because I'm from Central California, so we're only literally like an hour and a half away from LA, but still like when I was younger, you would think like, oh, if you like performed at a comedy club in LA, you was famous and stuff.
Yeah.
So when you first got out here, what was the difference for you as far as like, because I mean, you seem like, I mean, you're from St. Louis. So,
Yeah.
and you could tell in your mannerisms and personalities, you were straight Midwestern. Like, what was it like going on stage in LA trying to do like your material early on, and like people were like, man, I ain't trying to listen to this country dude. Like,
well, you know what it was? I really had to just restructure a lot of jokes because I had a lot of regional things in my jokes. I didn't realize, like whether it be a a supermarket or a fast food place. I had to restructure it for them to be able to accept it from here, or find a store that they were kind of familiar with already, so that the point would drive home for them. So I had to just restructure a couple jokes, take the regional out of them. I'm still country as fuck on stage, bro. I don't want nobody to ever think I'm from LA. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm from where I'm from. The city that made me is why I am the way I am. That's where my hustle comes from, because I am from St. Louis. I don't want nobody to ever think I'm from LA. And you don't. From the way I talk, from the way I walk, I'm not from here. And that ain't no disrespect. It's just like I'm proud of where I come from, the same way people from LA are proud of where they come from. You know what I'm saying? That's really what that is right there. Just putting on for my home city. I tell the cities that I take them everywhere I go. And I mean that shit till I die. Feel me?
Yeah, I think everybody from every hometown, I feel like they need to do that, because like basically like in LA, like one thing you learn real quick in LA is like everybody's trying to do the same thing. So like you got to do something out of the ordinary to stand out and stuff. And what do you feel like you did like early on to stand out?
I think I take a joke well, you know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid to like talk about myself. And there's a difference, I think, between talking about yourself and like making a realization and belittling yourself. And I learned that difference, and then I kind of mastered that difference. Like I know I'm thick. Like I'm a thick ass dude. I can't go to jail because I got my mama's hip. And this ain't no joke. That's just real shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm thick as fuck, bro. Like I'm thick as fuck. You feel me? So I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses, and I capitalize on both. And like even what you're saying, like people roast me every day. They do, but you know what? Like a lot of gold comes from that. The whole wording is hard. Like my game show that's been going for like a year now and doing extremely well is because I mess up a lot when I'm talking. And so I took something that was meant to be a weakness, meant to be a jab or a roast, made a whole show off of that really like, sparked my star as far as like growing my fan base and establishing my YouTube as a credible channel. So, you know what I'm saying? Like you never know what could be in that joke coming from somebody else. Sometimes it's some gold in there. So, I let niggas talk. Shoot that shots, bro.
Well, were you always like that? Like, were you like growing up? You kind of just like, okay, like, man, I'm cool with like people making fun of me or something, or is that something that just like got there over time?
I mean, I think it's impossible for people's opinions not to like have some type of effect on you, but I think you can ultimately decide what you let in and what you let out. Like I made a video for my Patreon the other day, and I tell them like, comics have some of the hardest jobs or entertainers, period, because we have people who love us every day, then we have people that don't love us every day that talk about us every day. Like, the shit that people see online is just what I post. You know what I'm saying? They don't see the comments that I read every day on YouTube, on my Instagram, on Facebook, all that type of shit. Like, and most of them are positive, but you get a nice amount of negative ones too. And you have to deal with that shit too. And you still have to figure out how to, some of it's negative, but it can have a positive response, like what you changing one thing in the show that you're doing. And some of it's just purely negative. That person could be having a shitty day and they just want to make somebody else have a shitty day too. So you got to be able to decipher through the bullshit. Like what could you really use and take as criticism and feedback, and what is just negative. So you got to just be able to cipher through that. And nobody just knows that out the gate. Initially, like the shit used to fuck with me and it hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, like niggas be like coming in the comments saying some wild shit like, nigga, you think I want little teeth? Like nobody wants little teeth with big guns, my nigga. Like that's not what I asked for when I was in heaven. I was building my body. I ain't want to be like, yo, I want to be thick as fuck, short, stubby, little teeth with big gums. Can we make that happen, guys? Like that's not what I asked for. Growing up with freckles, nigga, that ain't in the hood, nigga. and playing tennis because my mom wouldn't let me play contact sports. You just learn to build, you know what I'm saying, a shield of armor around your heart and
Yeah.
your ego and your confidence, you know what I'm saying, and let people know that you can roast back. So that's where I learned to roast is because I knew niggas was gonna come for me, bro. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's learned behavior, and you get better at it, and you learn how to use it to your advantage. And a lot of times it's just like I go hard because like I don't want to ever go back to where I came from, but also I want to prove these haters so motherfucking wrong. Like I want them to
Yeah.
up going crazy that
Yeah.
I haven't fallen yet, like failed on. I haven't fallen yet. I want them to go crazy, drive themselves crazy at night.
Yeah, no, because I remember early on in my comedy career, like like I was really anal about like if somebody said like, because you could have like a room full of like 100 people, 98 of them
So that
say
one
like they
person,
love. Yeah, it's that one person. That one person gonna bother you like for the year,
yeah.
like. And it's crazy and it's crazy how you like sit there and you know like basically because you still remember all like every joke that everybody made
Mm-hmm.
about like your body feature or facial feature, but it's crazy now because like everything that you just described like now it's your trademark. Like now
Mm-hmm.
everybody is like now they want you like for those reasons and like now they like sit there and be like oh that's Tahir and he's easy to spot out like now
Mm-hmm.
and especially like on social media and stuff. So like in a way, it's kind of like you had to go through the hardship just to get
Yeah,
to the profit. So
man. Listen, dude. I don't take any of it for granted. I don't rush the process, man. I honestly feel like what's for me is for me. Can't nobody take no job away from me that I was supposed to have. God had already ordained it to be so. It's gonna happen, bro. So I just sit back and I
yeah,
try to enjoy the ride, man. Because you can't stop people from talking. That's what they gonna do. If they got mouth or they got fingers to type, they gonna talk. So like I said, you just gotta learn how to be able to decipher through the good shit and ignore the bullshit. Cause it's gonna
yeah,
come. The shit gonna come. You know what I'm saying? The pandemic happened. Bill still came, right? The shit
yeah,
gonna come. You just gotta know how to deal with it when it comes, baby.
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, nah, yep, nah. It's like they gonna talk about you regardless. You might as well,
Absolutely.
but and then on top of that, crazy thing is like, and now like, cause you'll have like comics like coming up and asking you for advice and stuff. And I remember one time I told a comic, I was like, whether they talking bad about you or talking good about you, you always got to remember that they came to see you. You didn't come to see
Yeah.
them. Like,
That's hella right.
like so you got to just remember like before they even talked any amount of positivity or negativity towards you, remember they came to see you like first.
Mm-hmm.
So like you already were winning before they even said anything. So like I think we always just got to keep it at that. But I remember like first like seeing you like one of the first things was All Def Digital and
Yeah.
stuff, and you had a show on there, and then you also were doing the roasting battles and everything like that. Like, how did you get discovered for All Def Digital?
I think Kev had saw me initially at a show performing, and he invited me in to be in this episode of one of their shows, and I did really well on that episode. And then they invited me back to audition for this host role on a show called The Drop, and you know did really well on that. And I was co-hosting with my god sister Meg, and we were rock and rolling for that. And then we went to full time, and then you know we had to learn how to do other things. So like at first we were just producing the drop, but they was like, hey, we're expanding the company, so you guys got to come up with some show ideas. So I started producing and everything, and then I created Bad News as another show on All Def
Yeah,
Digital,
yeah.
and yeah, man, it just kind of went from there. You know, I appreciate everything that I learned at All Def Digital because a lot of times we were working with shoestring budgets for those productions. So
Yeah.
you know, I was doing, you know, I was my producer, I was my EP, and I was also the goddamn PA sometimes if you needed to. I was making
Yeah.
lunch orders, taking lunch orders. You know, so
Yeah.
you know, you learn how to move with multiple hats when you have to work with a shoestring budget like that. You know, or you know we had to like film 3 or 4 different episodes or 4 different pieces of content, and they might not even all be the same show, just so we can make the budget stretch and it look like you know it's supposed to look on paper. So it was difficult, but I learned a lot there. I'm very thankful for it. That's still the fam. You know what I'm saying? I still
Yeah.
work with them to this day. I produce Squadcast, so I book all the people for Squadcast and come up with all the versus topics for Squadcast. So, you know, that's still family. We still rocking and rolling over that.
Yeah, no, because I do remember like like basically y'all were there one day and like gone the next. Like I don't know, like if it was just basically because like the company was kind of like going in different realms, or if it just like they like did whatever with that part. Like what happened?
Well,
Like,
the leadership happened, then some stuff with Russell happened, you know.
yeah.
And then by that time, I was already gone. You know what I'm saying? I got let go back in I want to say 2017, but I was still working contract work for them, so I was still there, but like you know, just like as a day worker, so to speak. So and then after I left there, I was touring with Kev and just doing the other projects with other companies, producing for other companies, and then really just trying to get my own stuff off the ground. So everything worked out the way it was supposed to, man. Like you know, like the company opened back up last year. I've been very instrumental in certain projects on there, and just getting in where I fit in. But you know, I've been also very vocal about like, hey, this isn't full time for me. You know what I mean? Like I get in where I fit in, but right now I'm really focused on like building my own name and establishing myself as a brand. So I do what I can, but I'm you know this. I'm no slave to no one. So
no, and then because you and I guess it was like it's kind of hard like to imagine like you getting let go, and then you still want to work with them. It's like like your boss fires you, but they tell you to come back on Friday, and you like happy to do that. Like what amount of like what did it take? What did it take for you to go back?
Money. Even real with
like, y'all
money.
paying, right?
I'm not gonna be one of the niggas to be like money ain't gonna change you. Money absolutely gonna change. I was always been bougie. I just couldn't afford to be bougie, but I've always had a very bougie spirit up on myself. I cook ramen noodles and Avion and I'll be out here with that regular shit. I'm very bougie. Absolutely, I'm very bougie. Don't nobody get money and stay the same. Ain't nobody become millionaires and living in the projects. Rappers go back to the projects and hang out with us, but them niggas ain't living. You ain't buying no whole. Let me get the whole left side of the project. We're not doing that, nigga. So yeah, I don't feel no type of way about that shit. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm bougie.
Man. No, man. It's like no, and I remember your character on Insecure because I remember like your most famous scene was like you in the strip club, like sitting there throwing money and then talking about like basically like you was trying to take it back and stuff like that. But I was like, this dude's the bougiest broke dude I ever know because it's always that one dude in your friends in your circle is like they always crying broke, but then all of a sudden got some really expensive shit.
I would to this day tell people I'm broke and won't flinch about it, nothing, because I don't want people to think I got money. You know what I'm saying? Other than what you see, you know, if you catch me pulling up or something, you might be like, oh, this nigga was lying the whole time. But you gotta check me. I ain't never gonna admit to it. Nah, I'm broke as fuck, boy.
I want one of your friends to see you cooking ramen noodles with Avion water. You're just like I thought you had no money.
Avion or Fiji, either one of them. Fiji works too.
He said I spent all my money on the water. Hey. that's what I did.
Yeah. Simple as that, man. Yeah, I mean, you know, I just listen. It's called balance. That's all I'm working with. I just a little balance.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. One of the things I remember one of the first times I met you was at the Ha Ha Club, Ha Ha Comedy Club in North Hollywood, and I remember like you asked me to get on stage, but you asked me in a way like you didn't know who you were. And I did. I was like, why is he asking me? Like he's almost like kind of lightweight, like please, like a little hesitant. Tahir Moore, he can ask me to get on stage, and now we'll just let him on stage. And then I remember you were sitting there telling me about like, man, they didn't used to let like black people perform here. Like they like every time I used to come up in here, like they wouldn't let us perform and stuff like was that like kind of like the first experiences like that you felt like comedy like diversity in Hollywood?
No, because I mean, like, you know, I used to run a Wednesday night at the Comedy Union, you know, typically a black club, and I did that for a year. You know, got chocolate Sundays at the Laugh Factory, and then you had the Black Night at the Comedy Store was on Tuesday. Then the Shell had Thursday nights in the Belly Room. So you got to spend some diversity. And the crazy thing is, like, most of the times at the black clubs or the Black Night, you know, we included everybody. You know, you got white people on there, you got Italian, you got Mexicans on there. It's just on the traditional night where they are just like they'll handpick one black person or one mixed person every so often. And you know, a lot has changed since then. You know, I've seen some progression, but at the end of the day, it's like it's still gonna be what it's gonna be. Like I honestly feel like out here maybe a little bit better, but there's still some chains, you know, in the community that are like, you know, comedy club chains that are still kind of funny acting. You know, like the Westport Funny Bone in St. Louis. That's the only one that's not in the chain. That one's privately owned, and that's where I started at. I did my first show at the Westport Funny Bone, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like I still don't see them booking a whole lot of black comics. Like I was just there this past weekend with Michael Yo and Tone Bell, but it was Michael Yo's his weekend. You know, Michael Yo, he's black and Asian. You know, he's pretty tall for a black Asian. Cool guy. But after that, you don't see it a lot. You know, you don't see, you know, the Tories there. You don't see Arvin Mitchell there. You don't see me there. Like I really feel like they don't really fuck with a whole lot of black people there. Which is cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, because there are other clubs that do fuck with me, like Helium fucks with me, and a number of other clubs. So like, I don't listen, man. If you don't want to rock with me, it ain't no sweat off my back. You know what I'm saying? Especially if their city got more than one comedy club, because somebody else gonna want me, and somebody else gonna want this money. Let's be very clear about it. Like comedy clubs don't give a fuck about how funny you are. Let's keep it all the way up. Comedy clubs are restaurants with a stage. Okay, and the quicker people realize that and understand that that business is the most important word in the term show business, right?
Yeah.
For comedy clubs, it's about how many asses you can put in that seat, not how funny you are. You can be funny as hell. You can't sell it out. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. So I never really tripped off like that. I made a mental note, and I didn't make it my business to try to go to the haha like that, because I did feel like, you know what I'm saying, they really censored the black comics. We had to be almost clean, but the white comics could go up there and say, I fuck my sister with a hard dick. You be like, your real sister?
Yeah.
That's disturbing. That's not even funny. Yeah. That's just disturbing. And if we do something like that, we're banned for life. And it's just like, you see it. It's not even like, it's just blatant in your face. They don't try to slide it in there or nothing. So I was just like, all right, cool. I just make a mental note of like where I'm not gonna go. You know what I'm saying? What I'm not gonna support. And I don't make no apologies about it. If I felt that way, I felt that way. You know, until I feel differently, I'm gonna feel that way. But all the times I went there early on, that's how I felt. So unless you were a big name like one of the Waynes, you know what I'm saying, one of the Wayans brothers, something like that, I really just feel like they ain't really fuck with you. You know, Wayans or Cat Williams, people who already were established or something like that. All the other black people was like, yeah, you'll get your turn, nigga. Shut up. All right, bro.
And it's crazy because like now I think about it, and me like even just trying to do shows there, it's like you gotta bring like it's a lot different like if you're a black promoter versus like if you like are Hispanic or Asian. Like they'll tell you like,
you gotta have you gotta have 100. You gotta have 180 people that a club only seat 85, but you need 180 people at your show. Meanwhile, a white comic can come in there, don't promote, half-ass promote the show, and they get 13 people in there and they be excited about the show.
Yeah, no, they'll give you an off night. They'll be like, look, you can have Monday 7:30, like when people just getting home from work. Like you still gotta pack it out.
A Tuesday at 2:30 on a Tuesday. Can you pack it out? Like, all right, bro. I'm gonna have all the dope dealers and all the strippers in this bitch. You understand me? That's how you want to play it.
Yeah, but then also I feel like, because I mean I always think about it as a two-way street. Like you also think about it like, I mean, we complain a lot, but we never like sit there and try and take the opportunity. And which is funny because like I always like when you were sitting there telling like, oh, when you were at the Funny Bone and like you almost to 1 million followers and you got like a blue check, like people watch you every day. Like, so any comedy club would be crazy if they didn't book you, because it's like they already making money and stuff like that. But like it's funny how you sit here and say like still like, yo, they still don't really mess with me like everybody thinks, because like everybody would think like, oh, you just selling out shows like all over the country and like headlining places and stuff, and it's just like, no, like it's still a bit of like, not saying racism, but it's still a bit of stereotypes.
There's like, still a lot of gatekeepers. It's still a lot of gatekeepers, which is why like when me, Kev, Tony went on tour, the first 2 tours we rented churches, we rented venues, so we didn't have to deal with politics of the comedy club because it's hella politics in the comedy club, and all of them talk. You know what I'm saying? But like we were selling out. We were selling out. 150 to 500 seater, venues. And then in Chicago, 2019, we did this church that held like I think 10,000 people. I think we had 5,000 people at the show. Like we did that on our own. We didn't have no TV promo, nothing like that. So it's like, yeah, we can do the numbers. Like saying, so like again, we're not gonna beg to be nowhere, bro. And I just tweeted the other day, what was it? It was the Jay-Z song I did it my way. It was like we came in, not begging niggas porting, demanding they respect, hand over a check. And that's how it really feels like, man. A lot of times you come in these lanes, these industries, and you got to kind of be humble. And I was humble, and I was, kind of timid and stuff like that. Now I'm at a place like, bro, we bringing a crowd with us. Hand over the check. Like, you ain't got to like us, but like on some business shit, nigga, like hand over the check and give us a date. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna sell it out. You're going to make your money on your food and your drinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, hand it over, bro. Like, cut the bullshit. Like, just on business alone, it makes sense. Niggas it makes sense. Just get the check. Shut up. Get out of
here. But I want I think I need to sit there and have you describe the importance of being able to do that, like at this point in your career, like, because a lot of people going to listen to this interview and be like, yeah, we can do that right now, like, but they just started comedy like 6 months ago.
Yeah, no.
Like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
No,
like, because I think a lot of young comics right now, like, and I think this is the issue I have with social media is like it's easy to get a follower, but it's not easy to get somebody to follow you to a club or follow you to a show more than once and stuff. And I think like a lot of young comics now, like they do like a year, like having all their friends and relatives come to see them when they doing shows and stuff like that. And I always tell people like, hey, the first year, best year. First year, best year, because you're going to have like everybody come to your show. It's after that really like tells who's a comic or not. Because like if you were starting now, like as a beginner and somebody was telling you like, all right, like I want you on the show, but you're going to have to bring like 12 people. Like how would you handle this situation now?
No. Wait. You said if I was starting now, or if somebody approached me now, I would like that.
No, if you were starting out.
If I was starting now, I feel like 12 was a bit advantageous. Like I feel like that's like, and plus I don't like when I'm just starting. I don't want 12 people to come see me, but I know I don't have it yet. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm very self-aware, very cognizant of where I'm at and my skill level. Right, and then I'll be thinking like, man, like I don't want people to see me while I'm trash. I want them to see me while like I got it. So like I would be like, that might be a little rich for my blood, bro. I can do 6. I can do 4 to 6. I can't do 12, bro. Like, 'cause 12, if I'm bringing 12, I'm headlining. You know what I'm saying? Like most shows that you go to at comedy clubs in your city, man, it ain't more. Especially like if it's a show through the week, it's not usually more than 6 to 12 people there to see one person. You basically want me to do all the work. You want me to be the talent and the booker. And I'm not even the only person you're doing this to. So you just want to show up and just get a check from all of us. And it's just like, bro, I get it. Smarter, not harder. And if you can get somebody like that, that's super naive, hey, man, more power to you. It's just like, I'm more aware and know what you're doing for me to commit to something like that. So I would be like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. Because I know the game. I get it. You know what I'm saying? And the game going to get got. Somebody's going to get it ran on them. You either know it or you don't. You able to peep it or you ain't. Like I first came out here, I did a couple bringer shows, and I never did more. I never overcommitted myself more than 4 or 5 people because I knew what I was working with. I was moving to a city I didn't know anybody. I don't have no family out here. I didn't know anybody when I moved out here, so it's like I had to get on the ground and I had to really beat that pavement to like meet people and garner supporters and stuff like that. So like I said, I didn't want to burn them out on some shit that I knew I wasn't perfect in yet, so I just got a couple people. I basically got, all right, man. So I got with this chick who had a whole lot of homegirls, and that's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it worked. It worked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She said, "I found my niche. Though." He said, "Yeah, no. Like I would just say like I always tell comics, it's like, man, like if somebody said like there's always room to negotiate. Like if if somebody's telling you to bring people, like, make sure you negotiate with the person. Make sure you tell them, like, but be upfront. Don't sit there and wait till after the show's over and then be like, oh, like, I brought all these people and, like, you didn't give me a dime. Like, well, you agreed to do the show.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. That game go get ran. You gotta be verbal about it. But like, even sometimes with that, like, you could ask, and then people get an attitude about you asking, like, I gave you stage time. You asked me for money? Like, yes. Yes, I am. Yes, because I thought that was understood. I was performing a service. You were paying me for said service. I helped you by paying you by getting people to come here. So yes, I would like a little piece of that. Absolutely.
He said now I had the game ran on me twice, but I learned from my mistakes. I learned from my mistakes, and then ended up basically where I am now.
Like I said, it's gonna get ran. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta peep it early. I think it's a really quick learning curve out here, and you have to be able to cipher through the bull to make sure you're still successful, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, that's definitely true, especially in LA. Everybody about money in LA. Like, if you ain't talking about money, they ain't talking.
Absolutely. And I get it, man. It's expensive out here, bro. I never tell nobody just move out here with just a dream. You better have a plan too.
You gotta save up for 4 years. And then that's enough for like 4 months of rent. Like,
man, it's for real, dude. It's like it's a big jump. It's a big jump. So, but I mean, it's possible. You just gotta be motivated, and you also gotta be focused. Like, you can't come out here and get caught up in the hype. You know what I'm saying? And the smoke and mirrors. Like, you gotta know that, like, some people out here that will scam you. You know what I'm saying? They be scheming, they finessing out here. So you just gotta, start working and find you a little crew to grow with, and stay motivated. You know what I'm saying? Don't lose sight of why you moved out here.
Yeah. One of your niches is you're probably one of the most fashionable comedians like out right now. Like, when did you learn like to incorporate fashion into your set, just into your persona?
I've always loved dressing, man. Like I said, I've always had a certain sense of bougie. I just couldn't afford to always do it. So, like, that was just something I always just loved doing, man. Like, I love dressing. And so even when I couldn't afford to get all the stuff I want, I looked nice. Even if it was just a white t-shirt, instead of like, washing and drying and ironing a t-shirt for 3 months, I just throw it away and go get a brand new white t-shirt. And I'll make sure I have a nice jacket and some nice shoes. Like, because everything else, is kind of, you got to look harder at. But the jacket and the shoes, they gonna notice. So, like, I would trick a lot of people with that right there, like, until I could get to where I needed to be. And it don't take much, man. Like, I don't know why people be spending so much money on these clothes, bro. Like, I went to the Dior store just to, like, poke my head in and saw a jacket for $3,600, and it was like a jacket that I had on, and I was like, I don't understand this. I really don't, but to each his own. It just ain't gonna be me. It just ain't gonna be me. That's all I'll say.
He said I can make a $35 outfit look like
I can make it look good. I can make it look good. I just don't see the need to it. But I've always loved dressing, man. I one of the reasons is, like, I feel like, as a comedian, if you're in front of people and they pay money to see you, you owe it to them to look your best. Like, I'm not a real big t-shirts and jean type of guy on stage. Like, I wear it if it's a really nice t-shirt, a really nice jeans, or the jacket I got over the t-shirt is really nice. But I'm not like that casual comedian. Like, I'm gonna look like I'm supposed to be there, and I'm gonna look like some money. Even if I ain't got no money, I'm gonna look like some money because people pay to see me. And if people pay to see you, I feel like you owe it to them to look a certain way and present yourself a certain way. So, call me crazy.
basically. I know, like, with the social media era of comedy, like, the big thing is the blue check. Okay, you got a blue check. Now, I don't know how long it's been since you had the blue check, but tell me what was like the first day you noticed you had a blue check, and then, like, does it still have the same luster that it did then? Now,
I didn't even know I had it. My wife came upstairs and told me I had the blue check on Instagram. I had been trying to get it for months, and they wouldn't do it. People were popping up with fake pages with my name, and they still wouldn't do nothing about it. I had a couple of people working on my behalf, and they all kind of came within 2 weeks of each other. I got Twitter first, and then I got verified on Facebook, and then, like, 4 days later, Instagram came with the check too. Well, I had stopped trying because I got frustrated because, like, honestly, that check does not guarantee I'm going to get a bigger payday from these clubs. It don't guarantee that my video is gonna go further. All it guarantees is that your comment will be seen higher up on somebody's post. You know what I'm saying? Or my posts actually get on the verses when they do verses. People actually see my post. But I don't even be watching like that. Or if I do watch, I really be watching. I don't really be commenting like that. So that check is cool, but it didn't get me no checks. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. So I really don't really be caught up in it like that too much. I appreciate it. I'm thankful for it. I think that I did get it because I put in a lot of hard work, and the people that did vouch for me and work on my behalf, they saw the work that I was putting in. So I think it was beneficial, but it wasn't gonna stop no show. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't gonna stop me from performing. It wasn't gonna stop me from writing or creating. So, you know, I'm thankful for it, but at the same time, I don't give it too much weight or power over my life.
Yeah. Nah. So I mean, and then with that being said, like, how hard is it knowing like people think that you are like super famous, but in your eyes you're just like, you still feel like you're a regular person, you ain't made it to where you want to get yet. Like, how hard is it to balance, like, because like I said, people will sit there, like, you couldn't even really write like anything negative about yourself on social media without people being like, man, like, I don't even know why the fuck you talking, you got X amount of dollars and stuff. Shut the fuck up.
I even with that, man, like I said, like, I try to stay humble with it and keep the right people around me, because like, I am a regular person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a couple more people know me than they know the regular person, the typical person. But I'm a regular person, man. I still be like eating with my shoes off and rubbing my feet together. You know what I'm saying? I do a whole lot of regular shit. I do some extra shit. There's a whole lot of regular shit, man. Like, and I don't want all the pressure of like not being able to go to like a mall and go grab some shoes, or, you know, Target real quick, grab some trash bags and stuff like that. Like, I don't want that pressure. Like, I just don't want it. Like, I already enjoy buying things online, but I don't want to have to buy things online. So I appreciate the notoriety of people knowing me enough to want to come out and support when I come to shows. But that's it. Like, you know, so when the world opens back up and we can take masks off, I'm gonna take a couple pictures. But I ain't taking a whole lot. I kind of like not having to be super close to people all the time. Like, I want to be a regular person just like you. Sometimes I want to go on fish fillet. I want to go on McDonald's and get a fish fillet or 3, right? And I don't want people recognizing me, like, oh, your fat ass got 3 fish fillets. Like, nigga, so what? It's Fish Fillet Friday. I just want to enjoy this fish fillet with extra tartar sauce and pickles. My nigga, get off my back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want it like that. I would much rather be wealthy and successful than famous and successful. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to be able to create content with my friends and put it out for people to enjoy. I don't have to get stormed and shit. Like, I just don't have to do it, man. Like, priorities, and some of that's probably just from being older. And just knowing what you want out of life. But the people that I feel like that do know me are the ones that need to know me. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I go to certain places and they recognize me and they like put me at a better table. You know what I'm saying? Or the chick that ran my credit when I got my last car, you know, she worked a couple strings and was like able to, like, you know, help me out with certain things. Like, you know, like, that's the shit that matters to me. Like, the motherfucker that's gonna like give me $10 off a pair of Air Force Ones, I don't really give a fuck if they don't know me. I got that extra $10. I'll do that. I'm trying to save some money on this APR, goddammit. So my down, I think it's at 2.25. My nigga, I'm good. I love that. This is my lowest APR ever on a car, 2.25. Nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's that matters to me. Like, that's what I value. So, like, I don't really care about the whole famous shit like that. Like, I just want to be able to. I just want to be able to create content and make people laugh. Like, I really feel like I'm a vessel here to help other people get through their hard times, and I'm completely fine with that. I really am.
Yeah, and speaking about hard times, like I said before, like before I think we started, like, I want to say like, thank you first of all, because like you, like Kev On Stage, Patrick Slink Cloud, like the whole squad, like you guys, like literally Tony Baker, you guys literally like saved most of our 2020, like due to COVID and stuff like that, because like I said before, comedy was like on March 12th, comedy literally like stopped, like for the first time ever, like literally shut down, like nobody could perform anywhere. And it's funny because like usually like when something major like this happens, you can still go to a comedy club and like joke with people about it, but like this just like took it to a whole nother level, and it was like nobody could do anything. We all had to stay at home. Like, there really wasn't much like nobody really know what they could do at the time, and then you guys, like, I don't know how. I mean, maybe it's because you guys got started a little bit before like COVID happened, but you guys were like sitting here still blasting out content, like actually even getting more creative. Like you were doing like Zoom shows where it was just basically like you guys making like the Squadcast, and then you were doing word the word show.
Word is
And
hard.
then, Word is hard. And then you guys did the Keep Your Distance. Eventually, you did the Keep Your Distance comedy show, and then also we're doing like little productions and stuff like that. Like, how did you guys figure? Like, okay, like what in your minds? Like, was it just the hustle that you guys just already had? Like, where it was like, man, we got to do this, and just go from there.
Part of it was just like being able to pivot. You know what I'm saying? Like Bruce Lee said, being like water, man, still being fluid. Like, you know, if this blocks off, I still have to go around because I can't stop. I'm fluid. And not accepting failure. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not an option, man. I can't go back home. I can't. Man. I was there this past weekend. I had a good time. I can't live there no more. I don't want to do the winter. Okay. I don't like snow at all. Okay. Unless it's on my own terms, like, you know what I'm saying, going skiing like that. But also, like, you know what I'm saying, like my wife told me this is the first time we were talking about this laying down, and she was like, you know, people moved away from St. Louis a lot. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, oh, they'd be back. They'd be like, she was like, but when you said you was moving, I knew you were never gonna come back. She was like, that's why I wanted to reach out to you, because I knew if I didn't, I would never see you again, because I knew you weren't gonna come back. For me, it was like failure just is not a fucking option, man. So like, I'm gonna figure out something to do. I'm gonna figure out something to make it work. I'm gonna figure out something to buy my time. But failure is not an option. So being late on rent, not an option. Not being able to pay my car note, not an option. I'm gonna figure something the fuck out, bro. Like if I was gonna watch videos of me starting a fire for a month, I was gonna be trying to show you, like, all right, what's the best wood to start a fire with? Like traveling from fucking forest to forest, forging wood just to start. I was gonna figure out something, bro, and it just happened that like that Zooming with the homies was just a hit. Like me just talking with my friends, and that was just effortless. So you know, come up with a schedule with that, and then just really doing it, and then sticking to that schedule, and getting people a fan of me being professional, but still being foolish, but still being professional with the time and the constraints and all of that. Was just it's just part of who I am, man. So innately, it was supposed to happen the way it happened. But I'm thankful for it. Like, you know, a lot of people took a lot of hits, and I definitely feel bad for the people that, you know, lost family members, lost jobs, and things of that nature, man. It was really hard. So for me to be able to provide some type of pleasure and escape for those people, it was an absolute honor, man. And then the people, you know, they showed up in great numbers, and they also showed a lot of support to me by tipping me and tipping the guests out, you know, and a lot of times that's what paid my bills. People tip me out like that, you know, in a week, in 2 weeks, in a month. All of that adds up, man. So I was able to still, you know, pay bills, buy groceries, you know, live a little bit, you know, can't go nowhere, but, you know, we were still able to like have some small sense of normalcy because of that. You know, I'm very thankful for the supporters that came out and rock with that and growing. And now the show has guest hosts. You know, I don't have to do every show. I've cut it back to 3 days a week, and I take 1 week off every month because I'm tired. I did this shit years straight, you know what I'm saying? And we was shooting other stuff too, and working this hard. And we launched the app. You know, we launched the whole damn app in December. And you know, we're thankful for the people that supported that too. But like, we've been working hard, you know. So Kev's going on vacation. He left today. I just got back yesterday. I landed, went to Kev's show as soon as I landed. I came home. I did some editing. I'm doing your show right now. I've been doing emails, filming all morning. I have to upload 2 podcasts when I finish this. I have to do ads for another podcast. I have to fly to Atlanta tomorrow. I have to do some shows, some film shows down there, and then a show on Friday. Then fly back Saturday, do another Zoom show, and then drive out to your show, and then drive back home to fly to Utah on Sunday and do the show in Utah, and then come back home on Monday to film 4 shows on Monday.
Yeah.
I'm fucking tired.
Yeah.
Okay. So people be like, yo, why won't you do Zoom in on Mondays again? Because I'm fucking tired. I'm tired.
I sleep.
if you want the quality of the show to not be affected, if you want the quality of the show to remain at a certain level, then I have to take some time off. And this is new learned behavior for me, because I would just run myself ragged. I would be tired, but I'd be like, I'll push through. And then my sleep started getting affected, and that started affecting my health, and it started affecting my weight. And just the quality of life overall. So this is new learned behavior that I have to instill within myself, and I have to be firm with. I cannot do everything, and I'm learning that, and I'm very thankful because I have a great team. I have an amazing assistant. I have amazing editors, and you know, we really just trying to get it and keep it going. But I have to learn how to take these breaks. So
I guess like one question I had like about like your hectic schedule, like at any point last year where you just like, fuck all this, I ain't doing nothing, like I'm done, like not like can't go no more, like burnt out.
I did that in August, and I took a week off, and I stepped away from the show. I was still doing other shows. I was still doing squadcasts and interviews and shit like that. But I stepped away from squadcasts just to get some time away. We had just moved to this new place, and I hadn't taken any time for myself, and I just was like, I got to get away. So it was good, and it was needed, and I've done that I think 2 more times. I did it around Christmas. Did it around Christmas, and I'm gonna do it in like a week and a half. I'm gonna get away from everything for a second. So it's very necessary, man. And now I see that, and now I'm not going to let it up because I like it now. So when the world opens up, you motherfuckers be lucky to get one piece of content from me for a week. All right, because I'm vacation. I'm going to New Orleans. I fuck around by a place in New Orleans, and that's and I ain't feeling shit.
I mean, was it lack of trust in people that made you like? Just,
no, it's me being a control freak, man. It's me being a control freak because I know the way I like things. I like things ran a certain way, and I feel like if it's not ran that way and then it goes awry, I'm gonna have an attitude with that person. And then that attitude is also gonna come back to me. It's like I should have fucking just did it myself. Me trying to trust people and delegate. And I know they weren't gonna do it right, but you have to give people a chance to fail. And just because people don't do it exactly how you want to do it, or you expect it to get done, as long as it gets done, you have to like give them that grace to do it their own way. I learned that from my daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like the way she washed dishes is not exactly how I wanted to wash dishes, but a different way. But they got done. So I had to give her that grace and not just be fussing at her for no reason, especially if the job got done. And that just kind of spilled over into my professional life. And my wife helped too. My wife was like, you gotta stop, nigga. You just she was so frustrated when she's like, nigga, just let me help you at least. You fucking me, right? You comfortable fucking me? Okay, let me help you. And she was right. She was right.
Yeah, how important is that? Because, like, I mean, I know, like, the backstory between you and your wife and your daughter and everything like that. And I admired that type of, like, commitment, like, that you made as a man. And then also, like, how your wife, like, basically, like, she'll never let you know that you, like, as big as you are. Like, her or your daughter. Like, and I think, like, how you say you need people like that in your life and stuff to keep you humble and stuff. And I just want to know, how important is that?
It's very important. She holds me down tremendously, and this is gonna have to be one of the last questions because my food is here, and I also have a barber. I have to get my haircut literally like 30 minutes.
Cool.
My wife is my rock. She's helped me tremendously, not just on a professional level, on a personal level when it comes to communication. She helped me learn how to communicate with her, and inversely, it helped me learn how to converse with people on my team and trust them more and instill that faith that they are going to do their best. You know, so they're not going to half-ass it. They know how important this is to me and what I'm trying to build. Because I'm not just trying to blow up. I'm trying to build a brand that companies will want to work with and give us money so I can employ other people and help other people build their brand. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, they learn how to produce and come up with content and stuff like that, and then they start their own stuff and they bring people up under them, and then 2 or 3 people under them do the same thing that they just got through doing. Like that's what I want to do. I want to build black dollars. You know what I'm saying? I want to encourage black ownership. And my wife is very instrumental in all my success stories that I can boast about today. And you know, they keep me humble, but she likes the perks. She just got her new car. They delivered it on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you like your little car? She was like, yes, Daddy, you the man. I was like, you got that.
He said, you right. Now I don't want you to argue. I don't want you to argue with me for 2 hours.
I don't want to hear that shit. You goddamn right.
2 hours later, she got something to say about the car. Like, where you at?
I'll take that shit right back.
Oh man! All right, like let me ask you like these little things before we let you go, because like I said, man, I don't want to keep you away from your food. All right, we like to do this game with our guests where we play either or. Basically, we do some comedy topics and we ask you which one is your preference and stuff. These are only just comedy topics, and basically these are your preferences. We're not gonna judge you or anything like that and say anything, but. Yeah, no, let's get started. So, number one, I'm going to say, would you prefer Kev On Stage or Richard Pryor?
Kev On Stage.
Okay.
I mean, we talking about like who I would rather work with right now. It would be Kev On Stage. I think Richard Pryor always be a GOAT. I respect him as such. But like working with somebody right now, I really got a good rhythm. That's my bro. We both have like-minded goals. So I'm going to continue to work with who I'm working with.
Okay. Roasting Kev On Stage or arguing with Kev On Stage?
Arguing. I like it. I like because the argument is for me is pure. Like because whatever I'm arguing about, I really feel that way. And the roasting is usually pure too. But like I don't always have to roast my friends. Like I'm getting more away from that because it's just like nigga, we've done so much. It's not a whole lot left to be said. At this point. So
Okay, Tiffany Haddish or some more?
Probably Tiffany, just because I've had the chance to work with her more. I feel like we kind of vibe. It was good energy and all of that. And I think some more would be dope too. I don't have personal experience with her. Plus, I'm really, 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 really attracted to some more. And I don't want to work with somebody I'm that attracted to. I just more.
Oh man. Okay. Kevin Hart or Lil Rel?
Kevin, and that's just because we work on more projects together, so we already have somewhat of a chemistry and camaraderie, just based off of that. But I think Real is immensely talented. He's from Chicago, one of the best cities for comedians to ever be, raised in, and I think he's tremendously dope, and I look forward to working with him on a project.
Okay. Featuring for Dave Chappelle at the Comedy Store, or featuring for Chris Rock at the St. Louis Arena?
I'll probably go with St. Louis, and that's just for my city. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't even be for me. I'm gonna be honest with you, like neither one of those names would do much for my career in the sense of like, I mean, it just be an accolade. I open for Dave Chappelle, I open for Chris Rock. That don't mean you're gonna be a better writer. You know what I'm saying? Like none of that matters. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't even really trip off credits when people ask me, what do you want me to say when you come up? Just be like, he's here. He's from St. Louis. Like, 'cause they don't give a fuck if I was on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That shit don't matter right now. Or you gonna be funny. That's what they really want to know. So let's like, hey, he's from St. Louis. Y'all seen him before. Tahir Moore. It's simple as that. Because all of that, none of that shit mean nothing if you're not funny right now. I've known people who've toured with people I respect and think are hilarious, and they had somebody that opened or feature for them, and I was like, why? This just has to be a close friend. It has to be a close friend because they're not.
I think like featuring for like Dave or Chris is kind of in a way for like, I mean, not for like recognition for a comic, but I feel like in a way it tells a comic like, okay, you got into like this like kind of like a secret society, or you got accepted into a small circle where it's like, okay, they appreciate your career enough to like they want you to share the stage with them. So I can see what you're saying as far as like it's not gonna make you a better writer or anything like that, but like getting to that point like kind of is like solidifies like your career as a whole and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it definitely can. It definitely can. I'm not gonna take that away. Definitely can.
Okay. Last and not least, Tahir Moore or Cedric the Entertainer?
Oh, Tahir Moore all day.
I hope Cedric sees this.
Absolutely. I'm betting the house for myself for sure. I think Ced paved the way and did amazing things for the city, not just for the city, just like guys from the Midwest, heavy set guys, all of that. Ced has always been fly. He always wear brims. I mean, just right now, this is just sitting in my office.
Damn,
it's just a Midwest thing. Like we just got a different type of swag, and I think Ced has shown his off for years, and now y'all about to see what the fuck I'm finna do. I'm gonna fuck the game up. Humbly. I say this humbly, but I'm about to fuck the game up.
No Vaseline. Nah, but I guess that's it. Before we go, kind of just want to let you just say, why should we laugh at life?
Because you can't control it. And especially as black people, we've been laughing at shit to get through pain our entire existence. You know? And there's gonna be a lot of shit in life that you can't control. What you can control is your outlook and your energy that you put back into the world. And laughter, I think, is one of the best and cheapest medicines for that. And so, you know, you got Kevin Hart's Laugh at My Pain, and I'm sure there are a number of other comedians that have pain and laughter mixed in their titles, but it really does help. So laugh at the things that you can't fix.
Perfect, man. Thank you, Tahir. I just want to thank you for coming to do this last minute. It's truly an honor for me to actually sit down and talk to you. Can't wait to see you Saturday.
Oh man, we're gonna have a blast, brother.
Yeah, especially since I know that you came from like 19 different places. Cause like
Yep.
I was like, I don't know how he gonna go from Bakersfield to Utah. Like, but he got a magical jet somewhere.
No. Cocaine, brother. It's cocaine. Yeah. Not a lot. A little bump will go a long way. A little bump will go a long way. Listen, I gotta get up out of here, man. Thank y'all so much for having me, man. Y'all been amazing. Look forward to seeing you. If you're watching this right now, make sure you grab your tickets, man, and pull up. It's gonna be a fantastic time on Saturday. We're gonna holler at y'all.
Great, man. And that was another episode of We on the Laughs with Tyson Paul. Thank you for viewing this and watching. If you guys want to leave some comments below, that'd be great. Also, if you want to follow our YouTube channel, it's at We on the Laughs. Follow us on social media at We on the Laughs. And just keep laughing at life because it's actually pretty funny. Thank you, guys.
I don't know how to get out of here.
I think you just...